Hey everybody, it's Chris! Life can be stressful, and things can be hectic, and there's always a bazillion things to do. And I've developed many a strategy for coping with said things to do and stresses and what have you. One of those strategies has been deep breathing. Now, this isn't necessarily meditation, but it's a bit like it. A lot of people are put off by the idea of meditation, thinking that it's just laying around doing nothing, but it's really not. You are doing something. You're just sort of centering yourself, zenning out and chilling and letting the world just... It gives you some breathing room. No pun intended. I honestly did not... No pun there. No. So I figured for this little video I would explain how I do some breathing exercises that work for me. And afterwards, I will do the exercise with you. So, here we go. You may not know this, but there is actually a proper way for you to breathe. A way that makes air circulate through your body more effectively than other ways of breathing. And that way is to breathe in through your nose, into your lower lungs, and then out through your mouth. Now, when I say lower lungs, I mean, I'm not a doctor, you know, I don't study anatomy, but I know that sometimes when you breathe, your chest goes up and down, and other times when you breathe, a bit less perceptible even when over dramatizing it, but your stomach inflates and deflates. What you want to do is breathe in your nose, into your stomach, so that it inflates, and then out through your mouth. Now, when doing this, I find that 6 breaths work, and it could be different for other people, but I find that 6 breaths is just the right number. I feel like the 10 breaths that is probably popular. I don't know what everyone's favorite number is. I find that once I hit like 8 breaths, I start getting impatient, like I'm just wasting time. I don't know, but for me, 8 breaths is just I don't need it. 6 breaths is plenty for me. Maybe it helps to take 10 breaths. Maybe you just need 3 breaths to center yourself, then that's fine. Do whatever. You do you. It's your breathing exercise. I'm just trying to teach you something, I guess. But on that point of centering yourself, a lot of people that I speak to seem to have trouble getting their head around the idea of clearing your mind. And I gotta tell you, it's not that. You can't clear your mind. And people have made jokes about it, and it's true. Trying not to think about something will inevitably make you think harder about it, and it's just this paradox of thinking. What you're supposed to do is not to clear your mind of thoughts, but it's to focus your thoughts on one thing, and that is your breathing. Now, this is not nearly as impossible as clearing your mind. You focus on things all the time. If you're watching this video, you're probably focusing on it. It's easier to focus on something than to focus on nothing. And I find that it's very easy to do with visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool for pretty much anything that has to do with how your mind works. And it's essentially making a mental image to help you focus on doing something. Now, when I breathe in and breathe out, I visualize the air going into my nose, traveling down a tube or whatever, and settling into my stomach. And then when I breathe out through my mouth, it's essentially the same thing. The air exits my stomach, comes up, and out. Interestingly, I found that this little added bit of visualization helps is to think of it as going up my nose and going through a tube in the back and then coming out through a tube in the front. I don't know, just whatever works for you. But try to visualize it and focus on the breath. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Just acknowledge it and then bring it back to the breathing. So, here we go. I'm gonna do some breaths with you. They don't need to be deep breaths. They just need to be comfortable breaths that are not shallow. So you're like, you're not hyperventilating, but they're not so deep that you're holding your breath. But they are deeper than normal breaths. So here we go. In through the nose. Here, let's do this. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me better? Inhaling. Exhaling. So, visualization with me. We're going to go up and we're going to do 6 breaths. That's in. That's out. Okay, so you can follow my hand or do whatever. Maybe the mic is picking up the difference in sound. I don't know. But here we go. Okay. Take a moment. Oh, right. Start by getting your air out of your lungs because you're going to start with an inhale, obviously. Sidestep, whatever. Here we go. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Okay. That's that. Well, I hope you heard all that because I'm not going to re-record it. I'm lazy that way. But, I could feel it right there. You probably heard it in the voice. I wasn't consciously going down an octave there or whatever happened. I don't know. I'm not a musician. But I could feel myself relaxing in just that moment. It's really simple and really awesome. I would highly recommend it. Quick note. When you're doing it and you feel like you're having trouble getting the air to like go to the places you want it to go, try laying down. I'm not going to lay down because I don't want to move the camera. I'm lazy. Don't worry about it. But if you lay down and put your hands on your stomach and you feel it inflate and deflate. So inhale, exhale. I didn't do that properly. I should have done the inhale with my nose, but anyway, point being, you get it. Well, there's that. Hope I helped you relax a little bit. Cool.